Hey everybody, I've been getting a lot of requests to do a new preview video for Infinity War. Marvel just dropped the motherload of Infinity War content, but there's so much of it that I'll just focus on the biggest stuff in this video. I'll talk about the new trailer that they're going to be dropping really soon. We learn more about that, and then I'll just do the rest of the stuff in a different video. Because we got all that new stuff about Iron Man, Soul Gem, weird promos that they're releasing, so that's going to be a separate video. This will be all the brand new stuff that they dropped this morning. But if you're finding me for the first time, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. There's even an Infinity Gauntlet replica giveaway that's going on. All you have to do to enter that is just be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. So starting with the big stuff first, I'm just going to go through all this as we go along. So some of this is armor upgrades, deeper dives, and some of this is new footage. So here we go. Starting with Thanos, we actually learned where they are, where they're fighting him here on this crazy barren rock. This is actually the ruins of his homeworld of Titan. And here's a really key part. Kevin Feige actually explained that the reason why Thanos is assembling the Infinity Gems is specific to what happened to his home planet of Titan. So this is a big comic book change. Kevin Feige explained that something happened to the Titans race that caused them to go extinct, and the event was something that Thanos was not allowed to prevent. He vowed never to let that happen again and sees the universe going down the tubes because life is expanding unchecked. So that's where they get back on the comic book track. The reason why Thanos needs to reshape the universe is because he's so pissed off about the extinction of his race, which is a bit of a twist because in the comics he actually killed everyone on his home planet himself. So he's not quite as much of a psycho as he was in the comics. So if you don't know Thanos' backstory, he flows from the Eternals mythology, which is like a really deep Jack Kirby cut. But what happened is Jack Kirby left Marvel to do New Gods at DC, then he came back to Marvel and did the Eternals. The Eternals is a race, or like this offshoot of humanity created by the Celestials, so this gets back to big Celestials MCU stuff. The Celestials have sort of like this cosmic order where they go around seeding planets, and then every once in a while they'll come back and check on their progress, and they'll either destroy the world if they don't feel like that it has any potential, or in the case of the Earth, they'll continue to allow it to flourish. Like, okay, the thing that we seeded is actually turning into something great. So the Eternals moved to Saturn's moon, Titan, and that became their homeworld. There was an offshoot of their race called the Deviants. Thanos was born to the leader of the Eternals race, Mentor, and his wife. There was a comic book that recently revealed what Thanos' true name was meant to be, but when he exited his mother's womb, she saw him and immediately went mad, but whispered his name later when he came back to kill her. So Thanos was intended to be like this great gift of love to the universe, but became this really twisted thing. So it's this really twisted story on Greek mythology. Like Thanos gets into some really high mythology in the Marvel universe. So within the MCU, I'm expecting a lot of Easter eggs for his backstory in the comics, although they tend to simplify things a lot. But what a lot of people have now guessed is that this planet shot that we get at the beginning of the Infinity War trailer is this wreckage that they're fighting in during the movie, and it has something to do with the Soul Gem. Now it actually seems like this either is Xandar or it is Titan. I mean, there's not quite enough footage to distinguish between those two places, but there is a giant battle, based on the description of this picture that Marvel provided, that takes place on Thanos' home planet of Titan. So for some reason, Thanos is there and the Avengers go there to fight him. Pretty safe bet that it has something to do with the Infinity Gems, but as we suspected, there's going to be a big battle in Wakanda, so this happens separately from that, even though most of the Avengers are going to be present during this, as well as the Guardians of the Galaxy. But I just love the idea that Thanos is going to huck a moon at them while they're fighting. Like the CG for this obviously looks much more finished than what we've seen in the trailer so far. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a more polished version of this in the next trailer that we get because they showed off a primitive version of it during Comic-Con last year. This is just a better picture of Mustache Bros rallying outside the Sanctum when Thanos' ship comes into orbit. They just call it a mysterious ship, but obviously we know it belongs to Thanos. So they actually provide a timeline for how this all comes together too, like when Hulk crashes, the reason that Iron Man winds up in the Sanctum. So what they say is that Doctor Strange summons Tony Stark before the Hulk crashes into the Sanctum. So if you haven't read the prelude story that Marvel released for this a couple weeks ago, I'll add a link for that at the end of this. I've already done a video about it. It explains how Doctor Strange knows that there's this grand cosmic unease because of Thanos' mission to assemble the gems. So in the moments leading up to the beginning of Infinity War, Doctor Strange has an idea for what's going on. The reason Tony Stark is freaking out is because he's still thinking about the vision that Scarlet Witch gave him back during Age of Ultron. So they both have an idea for what's going on, but Doctor Strange actually knows about the Infinity Stones. Tony Stark knows a little bit less because he studied the Mind Gem. He accidentally created Ultron, but he also had a chance to study the Space Gem back when it was still the Tesseract in the first Avengers film. The Mustache Bros meet, then Hulk crashes into the Sanctum, then immediately after that, the mysterious ship appears in orbit and you get your battle here. So we've seen a little bit of that during the trailer already. We don't have a timeline for when this picture takes place because we know that they come back with Vision after that big fight with the Black Order and they try to take the Mind Gem. So this could be happening before that, it could be happening after they bring Vision back to the New Avengers facility. But you get a shot of Rhodey with his new harness that helps him walk because his spine is still damaged, but he's none the worse for wear. I mean, he's still the same old Rhodey, like he was cracking wise at the end of Civil War.
Are you Tony Stank?
Yes, this is Tony Stank. You're in the right place. Thank you for that. Never dropping that, by the way. Table for one, Mr. Stank. Please, by the bathroom.
But as you can imagine, this is the moment where they effectively bury that Civil War hatchet, so whatever differences they had before, they're all on the same page at this moment. This is actually a big one. Marvel's describing this as Shuri meeting with the Hulk in Scarlet Witch for the first time. So I'm assuming this is after they brought Vision to Wakanda because he still has the Mind Gem and they need Shuri's technology to help protect him and find out how to separate him from the Mind Gem without completely destroying his personality. Because we saw all those funny shots of Banner climbing out of the Hulkbuster, so that's like a completely separate thing, the Hulk wearing the Hulkbuster, but this just confirms that they bring Vision to Wakanda and provides us with a reason for Thanos' Outriders to invade. So if you don't know who these big four-armed creatures are, these are the Outriders from the comics. They've just given them a giant upgrade in the movie, so these are like the CG creatures that they're just gonna lay into with all their crazy weapons. The clips that they have are a little out of order, so obviously this is pretty self-explanatory. This is after Spider-Man, on the bus to school, sees that giant ship in the sky and is like, holy crap, I gotta help out. We'll just pretend like the other kids on the bus don't notice that he hops out Spider-Man style through that small opening and then puts a Spider-Man mask on while he's hanging onto the side of the bus just like Spider-Man would. Probably gonna be a couple questions he's gonna have to answer back at school the next time everyone shows up.
What are you hiding, Peter? I'm just kidding, I don't care. Bye.
But the way Marvel's describing this clip is it's just Tom Holland Spider-Man springing into action during a class field trip when he spots a strange Q ship. I love that the way they call it a Q ship, as if it's shaped like an actual Q. But then Marvel actually in their description says, with the help of his Iron Spider armor, he manages to clamber on to the ominous machine. So they make it sound like he actually uses the Iron Spider armor to get on that ship, even though we've seen him on the ship in the classic suit that he got during Homecoming. So I'm assuming that he gets on the ship in the old costume, then the Iron Spider armor attaches to him. We get to see all the cool stuff that it does, but it's what helps him continue to hang on to the ship. Otherwise, he like completely falls off, like it looks like he's getting ready to do right here. The gauntlets on the Iron Spider armor look hardcore, giving you an idea for what color his legs look like. Like there was a brief look that we got of it, but this isn't totally accurate because it's an artist rendering. It's not like a full-blown picture that you see right out of the movie. But the way they group some of these characters is actually pretty interesting. They do a little foreshadowing without outright telling you what the plot of the movie is going to be, like Star-Lord with Okoye of Black Panther. So pretty safe bet that the Guardians will be part of this giant final battle with Thanos in Wakanda. I love the way that they only included 2 gems in Thanos' gauntlet here, but this isn't a picture, this is an artist rendering, so they could have made this look like whatever they want. Like, please don't show him with all the gems in the gauntlet. We don't want people to think that he's going to be collecting every one of them during Infinity War. We get a way better look at Winter Soldier's vibranium arm. I know it looks kind of blue in this image here, but this is a much better picture of it up close. I would be willing to bet that it does a lot more than just help him grab onto stuff. So just imagine Inspector Gadget style, what other things Winter Soldier's vibranium arm can do as well. Much better look at Iron Man's costume. Obviously a lot of these attachments can turn into different things because the suit just comes straight out of the arc reactor with nanites. So let me know what you think about all that, and brand new trailer is probably coming next week or the week after that. There was a Disney shareholders meeting where they were talking about all their lines of business. So what'll happen is there'll be more Infinity War posting in the next couple of days, and I'll announce the giveaway winner when I post new Marvel. But click here for the breakdown of that Infinity War prelude story. It's all about the Infinity Gems, and you can click here for that brand new Infinity War promo. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.